And it's time to talk San Antonio FC. We do it every season when they first kick off. Sometimes we get to talk to these guys before the season. Well, tonight we're talking to them after their first match, which was a 3-3 draw last night against the Phoenix squad. And joining us right now is head coach Darren Powell and defender Josh Yaro. Gentlemen, thank you for taking some time out of your Sunday to join us.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Coach, you were in a position to win the match last night. Unfortunately, the other guys scored the equalizer in stoppage time. You still earned 1 point, though. From your perspective, what was that match like?
I thought the game last night was there was lots of positives within the game. I thought the players, had tremendous effort and commitment throughout the match, and it was good to obviously lead against the Western Conference champions 3 times. But then, we would have preferred to hold on to that lead to the final whistle. But all in all, I think there was lots of positives. We created, more chances than the opposition. We got into some really good, dangerous areas, and we just weren't able to manage the game in the final few minutes to secure the victory. But all in all, I think the players' commitment, their effort, determination last night was evident for everybody to see in the stadium, and just very, very positive from pre-season. And now last night, against a very talented opposition, we look to continue to move forward and keep progressing.
And Josh, as a defender, what's it like for you in your own words? Because I can only imagine you give up the equalizer in the 93rd minute. Just talk me through your emotions and what that is like.
Well, I remember when it happened, I just looked back to the goal and everyone was in shock. And it's tough for me as a defender and the whole back line, because we take pride in keeping clean sheets and in situations like that, helping the team out, because that's what we can do to help the team. And so a little bit disappointing, but then again, like Coach said, it's a long season, and it's a group that I'm really excited about. It's a group that there are a lot of new guys, and you look at the whole back line, guys that haven't played together for long, and we're still trying to figure things out as we go. And so it's exciting in that way that we're learning and we're growing together every day, and every day is an opportunity for us to go out there and help the team and improve. And I think that's going to be seen throughout the season.
And Coach, expanding on what Josh just said, you do have several new faces on the team this year, including this young man to your left. What do these guys bring to the table, and how do you feel they make this squad better?
Yeah, during the off-season, the technical staff got together and we wanted to make sure that we had players here for a reason. And that is obviously they fulfill a role on the field and help the team in the system that we want to play, but also have very good character. The gentleman to my left is a great example of that, but so are all the other new players we've brought in. They've all got tremendous character. They're all willing to work together as a team, and that's why when you've got a lot of new players, it's going to take time, so you have to have a little bit of patience. But this team, in our opinion, is probably a little bit ahead of the schedule, but that's based on their character and their work ethic every day. So from day one, as Josh just mentioned, these players' willingness to learn and get better, bring the best version of themselves every day has been evident for us all to see. So as we continue to move forward and keep progressing, as long as everyone keeps that same attitude and same commitment, I think this team will do very well this year.
And anybody who's been in San Antonio long enough, we all know that Spurs Sports and Entertainment is all about individuals with character. And Josh, Coach was just saying that you fill that role. What do you bring on the pitch as a player, and what can fans expect to see from you even out in the community, perhaps?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think touching back on what Coach said, it's a team that's put together for a purpose. It's a team that they have a system and they have a vision for a team, in the way that they got guys that are going to fulfill those roles. And so you have a locker room full of guys that are willing to go out there and compete every day, willing to go out there and give their best. And that what was seen yesterday. Even we go up 1-0, it's 1-1, we go up again, we never stop. And you could see the disappointment in the eyes of many guys in the locker room. It was a tie. That was not a bad result against a good team.
Sure.
But for us, it wasn't good enough. And that's the kind of team we have. That's a team we're going to build on. And in a few weeks, we expect ourselves to be in a really good position when we have everything figured out and our individual qualities come together as a team. It's going to be a really exciting group to watch. And personally, I've played in MLS before, and it's an experience that I've had, and I'm hoping to bring some of that experience and to help guys around me and to be a leader on the team. Because things are not always going to be perfect and things are not always going to be going well. When you go downhill, you need guys that are going to bring the team up, guys that are going to stick together, get everyone together and keep going. And I want to be one of those guys for the team. And in the community, the city has already given me a lot. You saw yesterday, the amount of people that came to support. And I'd want to also go back into the community in whatever way I can in capacity to give back to the city because it's already been a tremendous experience.
Speaking of the crowd, you guys last night had 8,058, a sellout crowd, one of the largest in franchise history, and you've played in the MLS. What did you think of this crowd last night, your first experience at Toyota Field with the home crowd? I mean, they really support you guys.
It was crazy because you looked around yesterday, the first 3-5 minutes, and we had so much energy going into it because of the crowd. Mm-hmm. And as a player, when the crowd is loud, you're playing at home in front of your home base. When the crowd is loud, it gives you that extra boost, it gives you that extra energy. And we had that yesterday in the first 5 minutes. It was great. The stadium is really intimate, and so you feel the energy of the fans when they're loud, and that's the kind of support that we're going to need throughout the season at home.
Coach, you've seen plenty of huge, loud crowds over your years in soccer. Now, I've never been overseas to see a soccer match. I've only seen it on TV, and some of those crowds are really fired up and great. When I go to Toyota Field, when I've seen the video of your matches here in town, the fans there are fantastic. And you've experienced them now for a few seasons here. How do they rate to some of those fan bases overseas? I mean, because it's just, it pumps me up just to talk about them.
No, look, I think, our fans are so engaged. So, and as Josh said, it's very intimate in the stadium. Mm-hmm. So you can, the noise stays in the stadium, it stays on the field. So whenever you get any group of people together that are passionate, engaged, it becomes almost an electric atmosphere. And last night was, from my perspective, one of the most electric nights in the stadium that we've seen. And they were so passionate, they were so engaged and so behind the team. It creates that positive energy that then, inspires the players to make sure they can be the best, give the best for the fans every single minute and every single second of that game. So how does it compare to overseas? I think, you go to some really big venues and you get, loud noise. But I think with any crowd and any arena, it's that engagement and that passion for your team. It's as good as anywhere you'll find when everyone's engaged and everyone's focused on supporting their team.
Well, SAFC fans definitely passionate about this club. You brought back one of their fan favorites, Billy Forbes. I remember when he was here with the Scorpions. Love Billy Forbes. What does he bring to you guys? Yeah,
Billy's a dynamic attacking player. Right. He's one of those players that, in any moment in a game he can make something happen, and he's proven that in San Antonio, and I think San Antonio has been his best home, and he loves it here, and he loves to be back in town with us. And Billy, I think, had his best year in the USL in 2017, and hopefully the challenge to Billy this year is, can you do a little bit better? And, I think all signs and indications are that, he feels like he can. And, I think that will make for a very exciting year for the team and also for Billy.
Yeah, Forbes is a fan favorite here, and he scored a goal, as you know, for you guys last night.
Amazing goal, yeah.
That was an amazing goal. So describe that goal for me from your perspective, and then just what do you know about him as a teammate so far? Because my couple of interactions with him, he's just a really nice person.
Yeah, it's good having him as a teammate because he prides himself in everything he does. And I remember, before the game, I was like, let's go and get some goals. And he's like, oh yeah, of course I'm going to, and he did. And whenever he gets the ball, you cannot. He's unpredictable because as a team, sometimes you need individual brilliance, and he definitely has that. You need someone that can, on his own, make something happen. And Billy is one of those guys on our team. So am I surprised he scored that goal yesterday? Not really, because that's something that I expect him to do more and more as the season goes on.
All right, guys, you have Portland Timbers 2 next. Tell me about that matchup, Coach.
Yeah, we're excited. I spoke with Alan Malsina this morning. We both met. We watched Portland's game. Post our game last night, they played at Tulsa to a 1-1 tie.
Okay.
But a very talented squad. The hard thing when you play the MLS 2 team, so to speak, is you're never sure what squad and who's going to be available. Last night they had a very strong team out in Tulsa, so we fully expect that group to travel to San Antonio next week.
Okay.
So it'll be us making sure that this time of year it's hard to scout the opposition in too much detail because you've only got one game to sample size it, if you like. So we've got some ideas which we'll present to the players this week, and we'll continue to concentrate on how we want to play and what we're going to do to impose ourselves onto Portland. But it'll be another playoff team that were in the playoffs last year, a team at home this coming weekend, and we just hope all our fans come back out and cheer us on, and we'll be working as hard as possible to make sure our preparation is correct to go in to earn 3 points against Portland this Saturday.
And Josh, how does that affect you as a player so early in the season, not knowing exactly, like Coach said, who will be on the roster, how to actually scout them? Does that even affect you at all?
No, because I think the way that they prepare us is that we play our way, and we have a system, and we have a style of playing that we stick to. It doesn't matter who we play, it doesn't matter where we play, we stick to our style. And I think with how we taught to play as a team, whenever we do that, it's not going to be any team or no team in this league will be able to stop us. And so for us, it's more about how we prepare and who we are as a team more than anything else.
And guys, we're going to end on this. Today, happy birthday to Chuck Norris. He is 79 years old. So, Coach, if Chuck played soccer for you, what position do you think he'd play?
Good question. I'm going to go with centre-back.
Oh, yeah? And why is that?
Because he's hard as nails.
That is true. And you know what? Some out there will say, if he played soccer for you guys, you'd go undefeated.
Take it.
Right, because that's Chuck Norris. Guys, thank you for coming down.
Absolutely.
Thank you for playing along with me. I very much appreciate it.
Thank you.
Coach, always one of my favorite interviews of the season. And that's going to do it for SAFC.